I stood there, 1 foot from the check-in counter, staring at the digital display like it might blink and offer me a different reality. My hands trembled as I held out my wallet, preparing to pay a baggage fee I never expected. Behind me, the line coiled with impatience. In front of me, the woman at the counter waited, calm and steady. And off to the side, I saw her, Becky, my boyfriend's mother, watching me, smug. Her lips curled into something just shy of a smile. And in that moment, I knew. This wasn't about a ticket. It wasn't about money. It wasn't even about me being in coach while everyone else was in first class. It was about humiliation, the deliberate kind. Let me take you back. Spring break was coming up, and my boyfriend's parents had generously, so I thought, offered to pay for a family trip to Cabo. His siblings, their partners, him, and me. I remember feeling both grateful and nervous. His mother, Becky, had never really hidden her distaste for me. Not overtly, no. It was the way she'd comment on my parents' blue-collar jobs or make backhanded compliments about me working in nursing. How sweet that was. How I must really like scrubs. But I brushed it off. Because love makes you believe you can endure small cuts, that they're not deep if you ignore the sting. At the airport, things turned quickly. They had all done express check-ins, breezed through like they belonged in a different world. I stood alone in a long line, ticket in hand, heart pounding. Something already felt off. Everyone else was in first class. Becky, her husband, my boyfriend, his siblings, their partners. Me? I was holding a coach ticket, one that Becky casually explained had been free and that I should be grateful for. Her exact words? You're used to it. Used to what? Being left behind? Being other? I kept blinking, hoping I misunderstood. They all drifted away, leaving me with the airport noise and the smell of coffee and floor polish. That's when it hit me. Not just the seat class difference, not just the baggage fee that applied only to me, but the deliberate exclusion. It was designed, calculated, like I was just lucky to be there, tagging along like some charity case. My boyfriend, he didn't say a word. He didn't stand beside me in the coach line. Didn't speak up when I looked visibly shaken. Didn't offer to trade his ticket. Didn't offer a hand. He just stood there with his boarding pass like a mannequin in a luxury suit. When I reached the counter, the attendant gave me a kind look. I tried to speak, but my voice cracked. Instead, the tears came. Hot. Humiliating. She didn't rush me. She didn't sigh. She just looked me in the eyes and said gently, "Sweetie, don't go with that family. They don't appreciate you." And somehow, those words broke me more than anything Becky ever said, because they were true. The tears kept falling, not out of weakness, but because I was waking up. This wasn't just a bad moment. This was a relationship where I was meant to stay in the back, quiet, grateful, small. A nurse from a working family who should know her place. I gathered my things, walked out of line, and I walked toward my boyfriend. I don't even remember what I said at first. I only remember the shock in his eyes, the way he stared at me like I was the one creating a scene. I told him I wasn't going, that I was done, that I couldn't do it anymore. And then I turned to Becky. She looked surprised, finally, like she hadn't expected the mouse to roar. And I did. I told her exactly what I thought of her. I called her what she was, not out of pettiness, but out of clarity. A manipulative, cruel woman who dressed up her hate in manners and money. She looked embarrassed. And for once, I was glad she felt something other than smug. I walked out of that airport sobbing. Not because I regretted leaving, but because I regretted staying as long as I had. That vacation could have been a dream. But for me, it would have been a slow, boiling nightmare. The kind where they smile in photos with me while excluding me at every turn, making sure I knew I didn't belong, that I was lesser. And my boyfriend? He's been calling ever since, messaging me, telling me I embarrassed his mother, that I wasted their time, that I cost them money. Money? The ticket was free. The only thing I wasted was my time on a man who would never stand beside me when it mattered. A man who saw me hurting and chose silence. So now I ask you, was I wrong? Was I the asshole for walking away from a vacation because I refused to be treated like a second-class citizen? Because I couldn't stand another moment of pretending that their table scraps were generosity? Because I chose dignity over destination? So, am I the asshole? This story hurts. Not because of the obvious cruelty, but because of the quiet kind. The kind that smiles at you while placing you lower. The kind that invites you in just to remind you you don't belong. What's powerful here is that this isn't just a breakup at an airport. It's a woman reclaiming her self-worth in real time. It's a stranger, an airport worker, reminding her of something she'd forgotten. That love doesn't require shrinking. And maybe that's what we all need to hear sometimes. That if they leave you out of the group photo, out of first class, out of the shared laugh, you don't owe them your gratitude. You owe yourself the exit. If you've ever been made to feel less than by someone who claimed to care about you, tell us your story in the comments, or just drop a "not the asshole" in solidarity. This is AITA Story Vault, where the truth doesn't need approval to be powerful. We'll see you in the next story.